Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Petal Talk podcast. My name is Allison, your host, and today I'm joined with one of my most favorite people in this whole world, Caitlyn. You can look if you want. Hi, welcome to Petal Talk, where skincare meets soul care. Caitlyn is here with us today. She is one of our estheticians here at the Rose, and she is also, if I may be so bold, a dear friend of mine. Aww, who I just adore so much.
It's the first time I've heard that, but I really appreciate it.
And I'm just so glad that you're here, and I just think you're the best. And I'm just so happy to have you here and to hear more about your story. And welcome to Petal Talk.
Yeah, I'm really excited for like the Rose and everyone to do this. I think it's really cool. And it's just like a fun opportunity for like us to explain our story and talk about the Rose because it is a really special place.
Totally.
I think all of our clients and our guests, they feel it like we feel it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. And hopefully we'll, maybe score you a couple more guests too.
Yes.
Because we all, could use more microneedling, hydrofacials, whatever.
All the things.
So tell me a little bit about what you do at the spa. What are the services you offer? What are the services you love? Kind of what's your jam? What do you feel like is your niche?
So I do a little bit of everything. Hands-on facials. I love massage. That's definitely surprisingly, like, I don't think that like I went into this like thinking that was, like knowing I was going to really love massage, but I do. I love massage. It's something I want to like hone in on and like continue to, educate myself and get better at. Maybe it's like strength. I'm really like firm touch.
She's
so
really strong.
If
you're not watching, she's really jacked.
No, but like, I think it's like, I'm really good with like connecting with people. So I think like I can feel like, just the flow. Totally. So I love that. But anyway, we do chemical peels, microneedling, love microneedling. I think it's just like you will get incredible results. Everyone time and time again, whether it's like pigmentation, fine lines and wrinkles, texture, everyone is just like blown away. Like in a matter of like a week. I mean, honestly, like you think you have to wait like months to see these results. And I have 70-year-old, women coming in and like just blown away.
They've never looked better.
Yeah. Like, their net, whatever the concern is, you'll get it from microneedling. So I love like the results driven treatments, I love
that.
Yeah.
And I think that your guests love you so much because that is a focus for you. And I think being really honest of like, I understand that you booked this appointment, but after hearing your concerns, I actually think we should do this instead. Yeah. I think that verbiage is hard to kind of establish, but I think you do a really good job with setting your guests up for success and also being mindful of the financial part of it, what's really going to make the most sense for them. Yeah. If you're just coming in for one random facial, that's probably not the best idea. We should do something else instead. Yeah. And I think that is why your guests love you so much.
Yeah, I just try to be like really honest with people, like if you're here, you're coming one time and, I'm kind of like, what's your goal? Like, are you coming in to like relax? And if that's it, like, awesome. Okay. Like, let's do, a really like relaxing hands-on facial. You might not get like, you're not going to have some like huge transformation. Sure. And I just let them know that. And that's totally fine. Like whatever, it's all about like, what do you want? Like, what are your goals? What are your expectations? I think like we just get that out, like, and we talk about that and then go from there. And, I think it's just like being honest with each other. Totally. About like whatever, whether it's like money or like whatever, and no judgment. Like, so that's just kind of how I like to like keep it. Like, and I want them to be happy.
That's why they love you.
Yeah.
They trust you. And they, even if it is one of those guests who can only come once a quarter. Yeah. You bet they're saving their pennies so they can. Yeah. And like that should feel good.
That they come. Like, everyone needs it. And most of these women or men or, whoever, like they look forward to this like so much. Like I always tell you like, I feel like I'm not doing enough or like they get bored with my massage or whatever. And they're like, no, this is my special treat. It makes my month. Oh, like I look forward to it. Like I can't wait for this, like I book, my dates are scheduled. Everything is scheduled around like my facial appointment with you. Like this is, like the highlight of my, month, so I forget that it's like so special for people and they're taking the time to take care of themselves. And I think that's like, just the biggest thing is that you're taking some time for yourself. Everyone feels guilty, like especially women, moms, So I'm happy that, you know, even if it's an hour, you know, our entry level facial, whatever, like I'm really happy that people are realizing that you need to, you know, take care of you so you can be a better person.
Absolutely. Because it does spill into the rest of your life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So something that I always find to be similar is, but I don't feel like this is maybe similar with you, is where I'm going with this, is I feel like a lot of people that go to beauty school, they are kind of always been glamazons from the beginning. They were cutting Barbie's hair. They were like doing makeup on their sisters and their moms and whatever. Yeah. Versus, if I remember correctly, that was kind of not how you were growing up. Yeah. Or was it? No. Right? I didn't think so. No. I feel like you were a bit more of a tomboy. Yeah. So share with me when you were younger, if you had a moment in your childhood of like, oh wait, I think I maybe want to do something in beauty, or was that not the case for you?
No, like not at all. Yeah. Not even until a few years ago, like a couple of years ago, after I had kids.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do? Or like your whole life, like growing up, what did you say that you wanted to be?
I was like one of the people that really didn't know. Yeah. Like, and I think that kind of like, it was unfortunate. You know, I love that people that like, I knew I wanted to do this like my whole life, you know, so I really wasn't sure. Honestly, I was just kind of having a good time. I like, you know, just, I bartended, I worked in the service industry, you know, I went to school here and there, and like, I just didn't really have anything like that I was set on. And I think like the moment though that I realized like this is what I wanted to do, that's when I was like, you know, I had like the chills, and I, you know, and I don't know why even like I was like pulled in that direction, but I knew like, okay, like this is it. This is what I was like meant to do. I love it. And like, I genuinely love like my job. And I love like helping people. I've always loved helping people. I've always been like a people pleaser, you know, caretaker, like, you know, do for people. But I think that's why I also, on the flip side, I'm like, it's important to take care of you. Absolutely. Because I know there's lots of people that are like people pleasers that don't take care of themselves, you know. But anyway, no, you know, it just clicked a few years ago, and I had some friends that went to
Tell us about the click. Tell us your journey. So you are kind of in the age of you would go to college and then you maybe decide not to, or maybe you drop out. I don't really remember.
It was a little bit of that. Yeah. Like I went to, you know, one community college here, moved to Arkansas where my dad lives.
That's what it was. Yes.
Went to school there a couple years, gotten, you know, and then had to come home. And then I met Dan when I came back. My husband. Yes.
We love Dan.
Yes. But anyway, so I met Dan. We moved to Colorado. We were there for a couple of years. I had Henry, my oldest son. We came back. And I think Henry was like 2 or 3, and we had Jack. So I have 2 kids. And after having Jack, they were like 3 and 2. I just felt like I was like constantly feeling like just resentful. Like, you know, my husband had a career. He knew his path. He was like the moneymaker, you know, and I just felt like, not like it's a bad thing to be a mom and be a full-time mom, you know, but for me, I just felt like I wanted to do more. Like this was not like all I wanted to do with my life, which I love being a mom. Like,
and you had your
love
baby
it.
So young.
Yes. And I was 25 when I had Henry, like 25 turning 26. So for me, like, I feel like it's young, like, you know,
but your life
today,
is like just starting.
It's young.
Right.
Yeah. And I was so not like I feel so much more emotionally and mentally like I should have had kids now. You know, like, we went through it having the kids, you know, 6 years ago. Right. But, anyway, so the boys were, you know, they were toddlers, and Dan and I were kind of like going through like a rough patch. And, I just like, I don't know. I turned 30. That was the click.
I know.
That was the click.
Being 30. I seriously can't wait.
Yeah, like, seriously. And so many people, I'm like, just wait till you turn 30.
You know,
like,
you tell me that all the time.
Something just like clicks in your head. I don't know what it was literally days after my 30th birthday, and I remember being like, I'm going to go to school. Yeah. Like, I need to do something. Right. I need to do something for me. Like, I'm tired of like feeling like I'm just like a yes person, like being really nice to everyone, you know, which is not a bad thing, but like no boundaries for myself, you know? And, yeah, I had a couple of friends that went to Aveda, and like people had just randomly been like, you should do like makeup. Like I just had people throughout my life randomly say, you should do makeup.
Were you into makeup?
I wasn't like good at makeup.
I was like, I didn't know you were a makeup girly.
Hey girl. You don't
no, please, no.
This is like this is our fashion designer,
please,
Allison,
please.
everything. I don't know. I think like people just had told me like you should do makeup, and at that time I was working at a yoga studio.
What year is this?
Oh gosh,
Is this like 20?
I don't even know what day it is today. Like
this is after COVID.
Okay, so this was after COVID, so maybe like 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. I think 2022 because Elia's 30, my best friend.
Yes.
We had went on like a 30th birthday like bash in Nashville, and I like mental breakdown.
Yes.
We got back. Like I was just going through it,
Yeah.
and that's when I signed up for school right after.
And
that.
also, you began your fitness journey.
Yes, like
Which
right
is a
then and
huge
there. Yeah, that's like a
influence on your life
whole
as well.
other topic
Right.
as well. That's
Right.
like all of these things catapulted or was a catalyst together. Like I hit 30, I was like kind of for me like kind of underweight, like really not eating, like stressed, just dealing with like anxiety, all the things.
Well, you just also got done like breastfeeding and taking care of these boys.
So I was like really, really skinny.
Totally.
And just like super insecure and like just unhappy. And then like I signed up for school and I went to Tora Veda, and I honestly didn't research any other schools either.
That was the
like,
only one you went to.
That's
or the
like
only one you
everyone's
looked
like,
at.
oh, I know about all these other schools. I'm like, I have no idea. Like
What made you choose Veda?
So I had a couple good friends. So Nathan, our Eminence rep that we love. He, he's one of my good friends from high school, and I just knew that he was an educator there. Mm-hmm. So I just, like I said, didn't do much research, just went. And I remember I was like, okay, I'll go and do like cosmetology or something, And the director there, she was giving me a tour, and she's like, yeah, you don't seem like a cause person at all. Like cause, like they all have like purple hair and they're very theatrical and like, it was wild.
They have a lot of energy.
Really wild.
They're very like, well, you're social, but like, hairstylists and estheticians are totally different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, and she took me through like the cause area, and I was like, yeah, this isn't me. Like, I'm not like, I can talk a lot, like once we start going, but like, I'm not theatrical.
Sure.
But anyway, so then we went over to the like SD area, and it was like very calming, like yoga music and like essential oils, and they're like massaging each other. And I try and be like, oh my gosh, like this is it. Cause I do have a yoga background too. I haven't used that certificate yet, but I did get certified a long time ago.
When?
And
what year?
Again,
Before
maybe
COVID.
like, it was before the boys, so maybe
a while ago.
It was like 7 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
So I went through like yoga teacher training. I worked for a yoga studio in Orlando.
Oh my gosh, wait, I didn't know you actually worked doing yoga.
I worked at the front desk.
Oh,
but
that's okay.
Still, it was free school because I worked at the front desk. They did like a
dual program.
Yes.
And you just have to like keep working there if you could do it for free.
Well, so I finished my certification, and then Dan and I started dating, and we moved to Colorado.
Oh,
so like I didn't,
understand.
and I was so young, and like I was insecure, and like I was afraid to go to Colorado and be like, hire me. I just got, I didn't have any experience as a teacher, so I just kind of let that one fall.
You probably could have though, because
I
Colorado's a huge yoga.
I would do
place.
it now. Like now,
you
I'm
should.
like, if I had time, but I don't.
Right.
Like have any free time.
2 children.
Literally none.
You could do like once a week.
Yeah, I'm good right now.
Thursday mornings.
There's no mental capacity or space here.
Fair.
But so anyway, I think like the yoga background, the fact that like I love people, like I've always I thought like maybe I'd be a nurse or something. Like I love taking care of people.
I could see you being like a nurse, and honestly, like a CNA who does like horrible things because they love people. Like I could.
I
see
totally
you,
would.
You totally would. Like,
but
that
I don't
is
like
so
puke
you.
and stuff.
No,
so, like,
I know,
I can't.
but you also like would.
Yeah,
seriously.
I would.
Like that is so your personality to
really
be like,
would.
you have this gaping nasty wound. I would love to help you, or like whatever. That's like very much you as a person.
But I'm really happy I didn't go that route.
They're shaped to the CNAs. We love them.
This is much more in the realm of my
right.
So anyway, so I think it was like all those things like clicked. I loved it, and I signed up like that day. I told Dan, because it's like not cheap. I told him, I'm like, this is what I need. I need this for like myself. I need this for our marriage. Like we need
as a
this
mother,
for our kids,
right.
like everything. And he was like, okay, like let's make it happen, babe. And then I started like a couple months later, and also it was like a moment to really like prove to myself that I know I'm smart. I know I'm very capable. I messed around in college. I wasn't like focused at all, I think because I didn't have like a clear path. So I told myself, I'm like, I am going to be like that annoying person sitting up front. I'm going to get straight A's. I'm going to prove to myself, because now we're paying for it. Like I'm not, you know, I'm a mother now. Anymore. Like I'm not playing around.
Right.
And also I really wanted to like take it seriously and prove to myself, like, even if I didn't know anything about, which I literally knew nothing about, like I did not grow up like looking up skin stuff. I didn't have any like issues with skin. I didn't have like acne growing up, nothing like that. You know, which I think is awesome. Like the people that, you know, get that head start. But I think that like just being driven and like wanting to do a good job, like, and show my children, you know, and prove to myself and my husband, everything that, you know, I can do this and do it really well. And I did. And I was like the top of my class. Yes. 100s on everything.
That's how I was as well.
And they're like, we all knew you would get like a job. You know, I'm like, yes.
You're like, yeah, I know.
But like and you know, they probably thought, and I know they did. A lot of the girls in my class were like, we thought you were such a, you know what, like the whole time. Until like the end, when I was able to like open up a little bit more, and you know, but in the beginning you're in what is it called?
Theory.
And then you're in clinic like the last few months. Right. So like in theory, I was just like,
there's no time to talk.
I was so stressed. Like I wasn't cheating. I was really like studying, and I was like up front and like zoned in. So everyone just thought I was like snobby or whatever. I don't care. I mean, I was I was still nice. I said hi, but like I didn't hang.
Right. Which is like,
and I really don't care. Yeah, like you know, like that was the beginning of me being like boundaries. I need to do this for myself. I'm going to focus. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to, you know, I'll say hi. I'll be nice, but like,
but you're not here to make friends. You're here to learn.
That's it. I'm here for school. Yeah. You know, and a lot of the girls, even like at the end, were like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't, you know, like you were really like, you're sweet and funny nice, and like whatever. And we really like you, actually. You're cool. And I'm like, I know. I don't have to prove anything to anyone, you know.
Did you enjoy your schooling? You can be honest.
It was interesting.
I know that everyone doesn't love their schooling. That's why I like to ask. And I always say, and at this point, if you're an avid podcast listener, you've heard.
Yes.
I loved my schooling experience, which I've shared. I had just the best, literally the best experience. Yeah. It always makes me sad to hear when people haven't had that experience, but I know that yours was like maybe not your absolute favorite. Yeah. But tell me a bit about that experience.
And I know we've like talked about that, like I think maybe different locations like of Aveda, because you know Allison went to Aveda too. So I think it's like different locations might offer different things. Yeah. I don't know. Or maybe they have like, anyway, it wasn't a bad experience. It was not bad. Like, I think that they were doing the best that they could with what they had. Like, literally, that's it, period. Totally. Like, they had staffing issues. I had an amazing teacher, Miss Z. She was a really, really hard worker, but she was doing like 10 other jobs. Yeah. So she was pissed and stressed and, you know, rightfully so, and like spread thin. And we would like hear about all that, you know, so that was like awkward. Like hard. Yeah. And then clinics, clinic was good. I mean, we got to see clients, which I love that about Aveda, that like I got to get hands-on, you know, facials. People came in, they made an appointment, I got requested, that's you know, and there were like so many times where I was probably like one of the oldest girls in my class, by the way. I just want to put that out there. I'm always
but that
like old.
Also doesn't mean,
now.
No, you're not.
I'm 32, but I'm
if
old.
If you want to go to beauty school, it doesn't matter what age you're in.
No, but it was like 18, 19, 20. I think there was like one 40-year-old.
What month did you start school? Do you remember?
I think I started in like fall.
I was going to say the summer and fall is really tough because you get all the kids right out of high school. Yeah. A lot of times the more mature students will start in like January because it's like the beginning of the year.
I can see that.
But from working in schools, all of the classes in July, August, September, October.
Yeah, they were
18.
Little babies.
19 years old, yeah.
Which I totally understood. Like when I was 18 going to school, like I was still a good student because I'm a like perfectionist and like I'm like to study and stuff. It's not that I never got bad grades. It was just the commitment, like following through, finishing. That was my problem, finishing things. Yeah. I never finished anything. But yeah, it wasn't a bad experience. I think that I just didn't learn all the things that like I wish I would have learned, or maybe I wasn't as prepared coming into like the outside world.
I always say
like to be.
Beauty school just teaches you how to get your license. Yeah. It really is like the bare minimum. Yeah. And continuing education is important. Yeah. And that's what makes so much of this industry, which is tough, but that's kind of just the reality.
But like I think it's kind of cool in a sense. It makes you like hold yourself accountable and like rude awakening. I was like, wow, I don't know anything. like, and like I'm working. Right. Like at the time, you know,
right.
like it was like, whoa. And it was very overwhelming, but luckily, like, you know, when I got hired at the Rose out of school, you know, Jenna, the owner, put me through like extensive 6-week training. It was awesome. You know, had all the tools, lots of hands-on, lots of education, extra training.
And we're still doing that. We're still doing extra education. We're still doing
you have to like hold yourself accountable and do these things on your own, which is, it's good. Honestly, it's really good. Yeah.
It's good.
So
when you decided that you were going to beauty school, what did that look like balancing a husband, beauty school, 2 small kids? Were they both under 3? Were they little?
I think Henry was 3 and Jack was 2. They're 16 months apart.
So what did that look like for you? What was that balancing act?
Literally, I'm tired.
Or was it just like trauma?
I'm tired thinking about it. I'm like,
what was your school schedule in the evenings?
So I did nighttime. Okay. Yeah, I did night. So I went to school at like, I think it was like 6 to 10.
Okay.
4 hours. I think it was a 4-hour night. Yeah, I can't. I'm
10 p.m.
Yes. It was late. Like I did not get home till 11 o'clock because it's 30 minutes away from my house. Yeah. Because I'm like, bedtime is like 9:30.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. So it was, we made it work. Like Dan and I, we may have our, like, we might be crazy, but like we work really well together as a team. So he's like, okay, he gets off work, he fed the kids, or I would get them ready for dinner and I'd go to school. Yeah. And he would do bath time, bedtime, and we did that for a year. And like that was it.
Is that how long your schooling was?
Yeah, or 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a long time.
It was, but it flies by. And like I really, again, it was like my time period of like growth. Like I started weightlifting.
Yeah, tell me more about that journey.
Oh, it's like the best. It was the best thing that ever happened to me for sure. So I just like realized that I was tired of like not eating, always like judging myself, like body dysmorphia, like all the things, you know. And Dan had always been telling me like, you need to lift weights. Like that's the thing that's going to change like the shape of your body, you know, which it does that, but like it's so much more than that. And that's like why now it's so important. And I always like tell people like it's not even about what it does for like your looks. It literally like changed my life and like the way that like my brain operates. I mean, of course I still have like my own insecurities and I'm like, you know, I'll be like, maybe I shouldn't eat breakfast this morning. You know, I'm like, shut up. Like, eat your eggs. Like, go lift. And like, I'm like, oh, there's that tone already back after 1 hour, you know. But so anyway, I just started, Dan put me on like a routine. He made me like a little like 5-day workout split. And like, I made him take me to the gym.
Was he always in fitness?
Yeah, Dan, but he would do like, he'd do like 6 months on and then like 6 months off and like party and like lose all of his muscle mass, you know? So he was like me, like he was in the restaurant industry before he got his like big boy job and, you know, just partied a lot. So now he's very serious. Like we're much more serious, like in the gym and with health and everything now as we've gotten older.
You love your health and wellness.
But anyway, so I just like, I made him run through everything with me. He came to the gym with me. He taught me everything. Like I'm like a perfectionist. So I was like, I need to know my form. I'm not going to come in here by myself until like I know what I'm doing. And a lot of the times I would go in, and this is what I tell all the girls that like I help out now. I'm like go in the room, go in the fitness room. They have an open fitness room, or find out the schedule when it's open. Do your routine in there. If you're worried about like going in the weight section, start in there, get comfortable, whether I don't care if it's for 3 months. Like I took a long time to get out into like the weight section to feel confident that I'm doing things right, or like to be the only girl in the weight area, you know.
It's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it can make you feel so scared.
It is. And
jack dudes.
Also like the stupid thing of like, oh, everyone's staring at me. Yeah, they are. You look good. Like you look good. Of course everyone's looking at you. Like I'm wearing,
you're wearing tiny shorts, I'm wearing a little tiny bra.
Top. Like no one's not going to look at you. Come on. Like whatever. And they can look. I don't care, you know? But, so all of that, like, so I started school. I started really, really getting into weightlifting.
When were you guys doing that in the morning?
So I would take the boys to school and I would, oh no, they weren't in school then. The gym daycare. I would take them to the gym daycare and then I would go like 9 a.m. You know, with the kids. Yeah. They would play. They had fun, you know, and then I would do parks and everything with them and then, you know, get ready for school and then, And Dan would do like early morning gym time. We always have to like tag team everything.
Right.
But so then I got really big into the gym. I was in school, and come like December of that year, I was like, I'm going to do 3 months no drinking, because like mama's a drinker. Like we were drinkers, you know, our entire life, basically, like literally 15 on.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to really like commit to this like 3 months. It'll get me through clinics. Like I just want to like do my best. Cause I felt like in the beginning of the year, I was studying really hard, but I wasn't, I felt like I was still coasting by. Like I was still like, I knew I was going to be touching people. They could feel my energy. I didn't want to have nervous energy or anything like that. So, December, I did 3 months, no drinking. And that is like, definitely, that was like life changing. It was all of those things together. It was like doing really well in school, being in school, not drinking, working out, everything.
Just
like
care of
perfect
yourself.
Trifecta for like major confidence boost. Just like showing myself I can do literally anything that I put my mind to.
Seriously.
Like I told myself I will not get a corporate esthetician job.
Yeah.
And there's no shade to it.
Right.
Like but like I have never worked for like a corporation. I've always worked for mom and pop restaurants, mom and pop
like bars,
you know, wherever.
Right.
I've always loved like that like unique
right.
like experience. And so I told myself like, this is what I'm gonna get. And that's what I got. And like just, you know, put it out there and believed in myself. Absolutely. And like did the hard work though too. Like I always say I'm so lucky, but it's like I worked really hard to get those things. So, you know, but yeah.
What is one thing that you hope your boys can look up to you for? Or like what is one thing that you hope your boys can take away from that part of your journey when they get older?
I hope that one, they like never expect like the woman to be, you know, stay at home, you know, that's where they belong. Like I never want that. Like I really want them to see that like equality and like teamwork, you know, from a marriage. Like, I also want them to see like hard work, like being a hard worker.
Totally.
I think that they saw me, or Dan and I, Henry, especially like our oldest, like when we were drunks and like now, and they know the difference. Like, unfortunately, they know the difference, but like I hope that they just don't make all the same like mistakes. I mean, I know they're going to, because they're our children and we were like insane, and like I know they're gonna play and they're gonna make mistakes and whatever. But like I just hope like doing these positive things, like it will make an impact. Like the kids, they know they're smart, even if they're young, they know better. So I hope they just like, you know, they know how to work hard, be smart, make good choices, like be healthy. You know, that's what we talk about every single day. So I just hope we're making like good people. You know? Do
what I really appreciate about you. Obviously I'm not like your child, but when I see glimpses of your parenting, I do think it's really cool that you teach them at such a young age about being healthy and like health conscious, and not from like a scared point of view, but from just like you're going to feel better. You're going to be stronger. You're going to run faster, right? That is something that growing up in my household, we never talked about like being healthy. And I'm sure you're probably similar. Yeah. We were eating like hamburger helper and like tuna helper and like frozen chicken nuggets, which is like totally fine. Yeah. In moderation. Right. Like, that's but like growing up, and it's not really until even seriously the last like few years for me that I've even cared or given 1 ounce of care into what you're eating and moving your body, because I just wasn't taught that. That was not a part of my growing up. And that's the thing. Like, if you're not taught it. Right. I had no idea. You're starting from scratch, like, and you're so confused. And then you go into, like, your teenage years where your hormones are insane and you're gaining weight and you're getting, you know, all the things. That's why I'm like, let's teach you these things. Totally. My mom actually was really, really good about nutrition. She had, like, a nutrition background. Good so, like, our cereal was like bran flakes, like fiber cereal. That's and she always like cooked with like the crock pot, like really healthy things. Like, a lot of veggies. Like, if we didn't like it, she'd be like, tough shit. Like, eat it. Like, that's what's for dinner. Like, there was no messing around. Like, I would go sneak over to Elia's house and then like
gain 5 pounds over a weekend and come back and she's like, I know you're over there like
eating bad
animal.
Yes.
So no, my mom was like super good with like our eating. So it was always like,
that's good.
Yeah. But then it also on the flip side, and this is where I need to be like careful with the boys, it can create like a thing in your head.
Right.
You know, because then I was so like, I'm 5 and I was
aware.
Like, okay, I have to suck my stomach in.
Yeah.
Like my mom's teaching me posture, like can't let my pooch hang out,
Sure.
you know. And I love my mom. She's the best mom ever. Like just, she's always there for us. Like totally, I know where it was coming from, but like for sure as like a young girl, those things, it's a slippery slope. So I try to be careful with the boys.
I kind of had the opposite well, I guess kind of similar. I think it was kind of our parents' generation. My mom would be like, she'd have like 2 scoops of dinner and an almond and be like, oh, I'm so full. Like I'm so full. And I'm like, I'm starving. I'm like, I am ravenous. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then growing up, I mean, she's still like that. Like, love you the most, mom. But she like, she's like, I'll just have like a handful of like cherry tomatoes. And I'm like, what? Oh, could it be me? I'm like, I'm eating everything. I am eating everything. And so I think that that's obviously, you know, they're boys, but I think especially for girls, like young girls, it is so hard to understand.
It is.
Balance, intuitively eating.
Yeah, and you're still your own person, like as a mother, but like you have to so like kind of.
Right. Like my mom clearly looks at food differently than I do.
Yeah.
We also like, I go to the gym now.
Yes,
you know, like it's
she's
different.
A gym girl.
Right. Like we live different healthy lifestyles, and her healthy looks different than mine, and her intermittent fasting. I just couldn't be me. Like it seriously just couldn't be me. Yeah. I'm starving all the time. I'm like starving right now. You know what I mean? Like that just couldn't be me.
I have a hamburger in my purse right now. I'm not kidding. I literally in a baggie
just
have a hamburger. Because I was like, what am I eating today? Like, you know, we're doing the carnivore diet right now. And we didn't prep any hard-boiled eggs.
Oh,
I don't have any beef sticks.
Not your eggs.
I was like, I'll make you a patty. And I was like, so it's literally been sitting in my purse.
Your backpack.
Yeah. I'm like, I may or may not eat it on the way home.
You should.
It's been sitting in my room for 6 hours. Might get salmonella. I don't know. We'll see.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do think that's, you know, just where, obviously I don't have kids yet, but where I hope to share is just overall health and wellness and have it just such a different perspective. My mom, you know, in her career, skincare always came up and taking care of your skin always came up, and that always was a focus and stuff. But I do feel like I missed a huge part of my growing up of prioritizing movement, prioritizing going outside, prioritizing like you should do it in the morning because that's
sets the tone of your day.
You just literally have to.
Yeah.
No one wants to go at the end of the day when you're fat and bloated and you don't feel good and you had a long day. Like maybe it works for some people, but not for me.
I think it's like it works for them because it's the only time.
Right.
But like if you can get up at
it's so worth it.
4:30, 5 a.m. Like even 5:30. Like 5:30, I'm like pushing it for time, but like it just changes everything. So much better. It puts you in such a better like headspace to really.
I hate to tell you, it works.
Yeah,
I know.
Like
I hate
it does.
To say
it really does. It really does.
I know.
In every aspect,
it really
like,
does.
I have become such a better person.
That's how I feel.
I was never a bad person, but like just seriously, internally, that's how I feel much better. Yeah.
No drinking.
Yeah.
Take care of your body. Obviously, that coincides with like clean skincare, clean makeup, clean hair care, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it does make me a better team lead. It makes me a better wife. It makes me a better sister. It makes me a better daughter. Like I just have more patience. I have more energy and excitement for things. Yeah, money. Totally. More money. Yeah, seriously.
Like the amount of money we've saved because I've been almost 6 months no drinking this year.
Yeah, you have.
Because I've been doing 3 months for the past few years, and this time I was like, I'm doing 6 months. So it'll be 6 months in June, and
you're so close.
I know. I'm going to break it before my 6 months too.
Kill me.
We have a wedding, so that is the excuse. But I feel like really at peace with the decision. Actually, like I really like. I'm like okay, because I've had a couple opportunities now to drink, and I was like literally not interested. I
wasn't going to ask. Yeah, but I was curious.
I was so like not interested, and I got offered like multiple times to like the wine bar, and I was like, I'm good. Yeah. Like I'm really good.
Right.
But okay, go back a little bit, like how you were saying, like how they all go like together. Like I had a client yesterday, this sweet lady, she was asking me like about like under eye puffiness, and we're like talking. She's like, I do all the things, like I do gua sha, I do lymphatic drainage, I do, you know, and I don't mean to like, I don't ever want to like be like harping on people about like their like diet or whatever. Like I never am like judging, but it goes hand in hand.
Totally.
All of these things go hand in hand because I'm looking at her eye and like she had very puffy, like you could see there was like fluid under one eye. Yeah. So I like was like, I'm like, well, I was like, what's your diet like? And she's like, well, you know, I eat a lot of steak. And I'm like, that's not the issue because I eat nothing but like steak and butter right now and eggs. And my puffiness is like gone.
Right.
And I used to have very bad like puffiness at my under eyes. That was like one of my main concerns. And then we start talking and she's like, well, and like my Chardonnay, like my wine. I'm like, girl, like that's it, period. Totally. Like that is it. If you want, and she even was like, yeah, when I do Lent, like it goes away. For night, or however long, you know, they do Lent for, like she said, it's completely gone. And I'm like, that's what is that? That shows like all of these things matter. Right. What are you eating? What are you putting into your body? That should be the first thing that you're like addressing. Well, your
skin shows what's going on the inside, right? That's when you get a rash, something's going on inside. When you get a bruise, something's going on inside. Like that is your skin telling you something's wrong.
Right. Help. But I like in the treatment room, I kind of tread lightly on that because I also don't want I know that people are very vulnerable already. Like they're coming in, they don't have makeup on. Like these women, they're beautiful, you know, but you're all feeling very vulnerable, you know. At work, we are looking a little more put together. I have a full face of makeup on, you know, and they're like, you have your skin looks perfect. And I'm like, I've been sweating for 10 hours. I'm very dewy. And I have like a pound of makeup on, you know, so don't like, look at this, you know, it's totally easily obtainable. Like we can get you there and I have flaws too. You just can't see them. But so I try not to like make them feel bad for anything that, you know, that they're doing. So I don't ever like go right into like, what's your diet like? Right. But it is something that like I kind of slip in, you know, if I hear they're doing all the right things, like skin wise, you know, they have a great routine. It's like simple, but effective. They've been getting facials. Okay. What's next?
What else?
Like,
because clearly we need
something
another step.
Else. Yeah. And then I'll just be like, okay, like, what's your diet like? Are you, or I'll just ask,
or maybe like
are you drinking enough water or
intolerant or something?
Yeah. Like really just low key try to slip it in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of like open up the conversation to that because it is super important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
When you think about your career moving forward, because you haven't been licensed for, you know, that long.
No, I'm a newbie.
Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Like, what are some big goals that you have in this industry?
That's a great question. I should ask myself. Honestly. Yeah, I should. I'm really happy with like where I'm at. I'm really happy with the Rose. I think I just want to continue getting just better and keep, you know, growing with my education. Like I said, I really, really, really would love to like be an incredible like lymphatic drainage. Like I want people to know like this is the girl to come to for like facial massage.
Which is so true because I do want to say as a fellow plump cheek girly, I've never looked more snatched in my life than after your facials. Seriously, my cheeks
Your little apples are
insane.
Like
no, seriously, next time we should take some photos like before and after.
Yeah.
Because I have never felt more skinny in my face in my entire life than after seeing you. It's actually crazy. Yeah. And I think people also don't understand with like those types of facial manipulations how important it is to do facial manipulation in general. Yeah. Because how often are you touching your face?
Never.
Like literally zero.
It's just stagnant.
It's stagnant blood.
Energy.
It's all energy. And to even when you're washing your face at night, taking 3 minutes, which I know everyone's busy, they have kids, they have whatever, but seriously, taking the time to manually raise your own eyebrow. Yeah. Even taking like, I've seen people just use like this part of their face or like their knuckles and just taking the time to just move it down.
It feels so good.
It feels so good. Like you're going to feel better too.
I do this all day to other people and I'm like the most like hypocritical. I'm like, I never. But then like the one time I'll like do a little, something. You know, little zhuzh on my eyebrows. I'm like, God, I need, why? Like,
you're like, how can I photocopy myself so I can get my own facial?
Yes. Yeah. But I think like for the future, I just want to continue to grow, like be the best version of like myself. I want to do a killer like massage. I don't know. I just want to keep like growing. I love like the direction that I'm going in. I'm going through a lot of like personal growth. I feel like I'm still like a baby in my head.
You're kind of like thriving this year.
Yeah, I
feel like you've kind of like glowed up this year.
Things don't register in my, like to me, but
I feel like you can have though. You've had a good year.
I'm really trying.
You're so busy at the shop.
Yeah.
And your guests love you. Your guests have said more in the last 5 months.
Yeah.
They have been so vocal. I mean, even today, your guests have been so vocal about how much they're obsessed with you, how much they love you. And I feel like we have such a little diamond in our spa.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with you. They love you. They trust you.
Yeah.
Right before this, we had a guest come in and same thing, was like singing her praises. And it's such a, I don't want to say this is like a thankless job because it's like we're not nurses. We're not doctors. We're not like teachers that
we are changing people.
We are literally changing people's lives.
People get so, I mean, it's your skin. It is, whether you say you care or you don't care.
Totally.
People care.
You absolutely do.
You care.
And if you're coming to a spa, you care.
Yeah. And you're like, you see like a difference and you feel good about yourself. It is life-changing for some people.
Absolutely. Whether you have cystic acne or you're just having more mature skin or you're pre or post menopausal or you are just recently postpartum or whatever. We see it all, right?
Yeah.
We see teenagers.
Everything.
We see moms, no moms, great grandma. Like we see them all. Mm-hmm. And specifically this year, I mean, seriously, your guests just love you.
I love them.
Like, I know. I do really
too. Like, honestly,
they're
we
like
have
kind of the best.
I don't mean to be like, oh, we love, like,
right?
Because we don't throw away around like love. Like Allison and I were like, we're not like, I love you. Like everyone, like we're not, but like genuinely, we have incredible like guests. We really do.
Seriously,
and I think
they're the best.
It's a mutual like respect. Mm-hmm. Like they feel it from us, and they know that we really do take care of them, and they take care of us.
Absolutely,
and it makes it like easy. Absolutely. Like I tell Allison this all the time. Like I'll come into work and I'm like, the kids are sick, and there's pink eye floating around, and we've got this,
and the cat,
I'm like a sweaty mess, 5 minutes before my facial, and just like there's always something like going on in the Olsen household, but like the moment like I sit down and our guest is like comfortable, and like literally the second I'm applying like Stone Crop cleansing oil, I literally take like a deep breath with them, and I'm in my element, and I feel like so at peace, and I'm so thankful, and I'm like, this is what I was meant to do, because I feel like relaxed doing my job, like,
and so fulfilled, and it's
like,
so
I love
fun, and it's just the best.
It's rewarding. It's really so rewarding. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally never would have thought that like this was it. That this was like my career path, but like now it like adds up and like makes sense.
So what would you say to someone in a similar position as you? Let's say there's someone out there listening who has maybe struggled with alcohol, maybe also, or a different person has young kids and just wants to do something for themselves, or maybe has always been a bartender and always maybe kind of wanted to do that. Like, what is some advice that you would give to someone in those similar shoes that you were in as they maybe embark on this journey?
I think like this is how I try to like look at things. And I always tell my husband this, like, just do it. Like, don't be so afraid or like negative to like an opportunity. Like, yes, money, it will come. Like I always, and I haven't always had money. Like I came from middle class, like didn't have, I was just getting by, we were just getting by. Right. And, but like, I've always thought like money will come. Like, so if you want to go to school, if you're serious about it, do it. And it will come back later. To you.
Totally.
Like if you have, I heard this the other day and I was like, wow, that really, like resonated with me. And I feel like everyone should like hear this. And I don't know if I'm probably gonna like,
that's fine,
dice this up.
Yeah.
But like this woman was like in her 80s and they were interviewing people on the street and they're like, what's your advice to like younger people? And she was like, if you have a dream, if you have a thought, if there's something that you want to do, like do it before you can't do it. Like, totally. She's like, I'm this age now and now I can't do X, Y, and Z that like I wanted to do. Like whether it was like as simple as like wear that bathing suit or like go on a scuba diving trip or whatever. Like or it's little things like
run
that.
A marathon.
Like we have this one life to live. Like you are only going to be this age for this long. Like I'm not telling you to like go do something reckless.
Right.
But like, if there's something that you've been thinking about doing, like, I just knew in my heart, like, I would not be happy. And like, if I didn't do something for myself, because I feel like I never did anything like that was just about me. Like I always, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I just think that like, if you have a thought and you have like some sort of direction, get help, take it, ask for help, you know, have your family make it work. Like just make it work. No excuses. Absolutely. Don't play like the victim card. Like that I don't do. Like, woe is me. I can't, you know, because X, Y, and Z, we all have, we all have issues. We all have, you can be depressed. Like we all have our things, you know, but you are those things if you let that be it, you know? So I like don't have time to like sit around and pity party, you know? It's like, get up, brush yourself off, be sad for a little bit, and then go do like the thing, you know? And like, that's it.
Absolutely.
Like and cut and dry.
I think that mentality is a huge reason to why you were able to be out of school and have like a fully booked clientele pretty quickly. Yeah. Because there was no other option. Yeah. And I think giving yourself those parameters of just show up and do it. Yeah. I think that's good. And I think sometimes, you know, this industry is so beautiful because you can do whatever you want. You can make as much money. Yeah. Or as little money as you want. It's
actually crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's literally like, I never would have thought.
Show up for yourself. Yeah. Like, and I know I've said this to you a million times and I've said this before on the podcast, but I always tell the girls and students of mine, like, find your long-term goal and work backwards, right? If you want to make $100,000 in a year or 200 or 10,000, whatever number that is. And obviously not everyone is money motivated and I get that, but you kind of should be if you're not.
I thought I wasn't and that's like where Allison was like, oh, she wasn't like this, like into makeup. And I was like, I don't care about materialistic. Like and it's not like the number one thing, but like you're lying if you don't care about things a little for bit, money. Like, you know, but then once I started making money, because I was like, I'm not money driven. I don't want to, I hate, because I do hate, like, you know, it's icky and I don't like making people like I'm like, oh, you don't have to tip, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, stop, like no more, you know. Once I started making like good money, it just like empowered me. And I was like, wow, like I am contributing to my family. Like I'm helping us buy our first house. Right. Like something I never would have like thought, you know,
a new house, paying for school situations.
And that only made my husband and I's relationship better. He won. I mean, whether he like says it's true or not, but like I feel the respect more. Right. Like I feel like whether it's me projecting that, like whatever, but like we have a much better marriage because it is a lot more equal. All of this stuff is not on his plate.
He's not
money
stressed.
Pressure, you know, it's like we know that we are both hustling every single day and we are both a team, and like that's how you make a marriage work. Like you have to be team, you know, tag team, literally everything. And I think like making more money, it's like the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's so nice too. Like I said, though, it's like you get to pick, like, if you want to be someone that works 1 or 2 days a week because your babies are little, and then so be it. But if you want to show up, you really can. Yeah. And this is the industry to do it because you really do get to kind of make your own rules and be in control of your future.
No, it's
no one
awesome.
Else is.
Like we don't have to be, at least at the Rose, like I don't have to be scheduled 9 to 5. I don't have to be at the Rose unless we have a scheduled client. So it was the perfect transition for me to like go from no job, stay at home mom to a job because, you know, of course we live like 5 minutes away. So that's helpful that I could like run home, you know, feed the boys, check in, make sure everything's like okay. The house is on fire, come home, come back to work. You know, I don't think that I could have like started off with like a 8 to 5 job. This was like a really good, so like, I'm always like, people, you should be an esthetician. Like it is such a good job. Like totally. You can make so much money, you meet great people. You have like, I have connected with so many, like just, and like, we're changing lives in the sense of like, yes, they feel better about themselves, but like the conversation I have, I've had like insane heart to hearts with about so many different things.
People
like
are
all
crying,
of this stuff.
People are happy.
Like it's really just awesome.
Totally. Yeah. Do you have any advice for maybe a new mom who is either already licensed or is in beauty school and is about to experience like the mom guilt that comes with like going to work? Is that something you struggled with?
Yeah, I mean, I still do for sure. Like, like the other day, like I was telling Allison, you know, Henry was like graduating his like BPK class, you know, and they were doing like, and I thought it was going to be like a 5-minute graduation. It ended up being like a whole recital, like a whole like hour. They sang songs, like a whole thing, and I missed it. Right. You know, my sweet client, like she was like, oh, you should have canceled. Like, I'm like, girl, I'm not going to cancel your appointment. You know, I was like, next time I'm blocking my schedule. Like, you know, I was like, but that's how sweet, like, again, our guests are just incredible. Like, this woman was like sad for me. And I was like,
probably would have been
enjoy
totally
your
fine.
facial. Yeah. Right. But I think just like focus on like, yes, you're going to feel guilty, like, of course, because you're a good mom and, you know, you want to be there for kids. But I think it's also like the right time and place. Yeah, maybe when the baby's like 3-6 months old, be at home with them, or do a little bit like as you can. I'm not saying you have to be full time, like full time. Like things don't have to be so black and white. Don't like stress out so much on like, I can't go get a job at all. No, you can go and like work a little bit, come home. Like it's very flexible like that. But I think also like, remember you're an individual. Like that's the biggest thing is like, you are a person, you have to be happy if you want to be able to give to your child. Right. A mother's happiness literally is like one of the most, if not the most important thing to the family. Like really. And I always tell Allison this, like the wife and the mom, we set the tone for a family, for a marriage. Like it's so true. It's so and I have such an alpha male husband who is like full Italian. Like I never thought I'd be like, I'm the one in control. Like, and it's not even about control. No. It's like, it's literally not control because I'm not like a controlling person, but it's like, mama knows best. Like, that's it. Like, I know, like, period. And even the boys are like, mom's the boss, daddy. And I'm like, damn right. Like, you know, like, and he's like, that's right. Like, you know, and we just accepted it. Like, it was bumpy to get there. Like, for sure, lots of like ego. So much, but not, I don't say easier, but like, mom does know best. Yeah. And like, sometimes wife knows best too. And like, sometimes that is hard, but like, they just see it in a different perspective. Yeah, totally. That's something that I didn't really realize until kind of in the last like year or two. But it is important. Yes. And like you do set the tone because your man has work and that's typically like their primary focus. Yeah. And then they come home to the kids and family and the wife. Where the wife has everything. And all the things that they don't even know about. Like, that was like the thing. Like, Dan would be like, I did this today. And I'm like, okay, let's put your calendar and let me get your gold star for all the things that you've done today. Like, do you want to hear my list? Like, but I don't have to say it because I know that I'm doing a million things before you've even woken up. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts or final things that you want to share or any words of encouragement or any final thoughts? So words of encouragement, just, it's like corny, but it's like, I think just like be yourself, do what's like true to you, like listen to your gut, whatever is like what you think you want to do, like what the lady said, like follow your dreams. Like I know it's like so corny, but when you do, like I didn't have a dream of becoming an esthetician. That wasn't like the dream, but I did have like this weird like inkling, like, okay, this direction is like pulling me, and I listened to it. And like, if I'm listening to it and I'm spending time away from my kids, I'm spending $12,000 going to school, like I'm going to do it. Like don't half-ass stuff. Show up. Do it. Like go to work, be at work, have a good, attitude. Don't be so hard on yourself. Like, and if you are, change it, fix it. Like just do something like, do something for your life. Yeah. Like do something for yourself though too. And come visit us at the Rose because you'll love it. It's the best. Will you plug yourself and tell everyone where they can find you? Yeah, of course. So on Insta, I'm on the gram. Yeah. I'm a grandma with technology, but like, definitely Instagram. It's at Skin Theory XKO. So it's Skin Theory by Katlyn Olsen. I came up with that name because I was like, something like scientific. Like I was like the theory of skin. Yes. I will probably change it in the near future. Cute. We'll see. I think it's cute. But that's where you can find me now. Yeah. And obviously book your services with her. She's an excellent esthetician
friend, mother, everything. She's just the best. And we just love having her. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Next time we'll have to get you on and we'll talk more about like treatments and stuff. But I want everyone to just get to know you and kind of go from there.
I love it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Great.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.